This video describes Middlesex University's entry into the VAST 2012 competition, Mini Challenge 1. As part of our submission, we built the Middlesex Spatial Interactive Visualization Environment, or M-SIEVE for short, which we will talk about in more detail later. Other applications that we used included Excel for viewing and drilling down into the raw data, SPSS for performing statistical analysis to find the norms, and we used a mix of MySQL and PostgreSQL for storing both the raw and pre-processed data. We will now run through an example of how to use our M-SIEVE system. The workspace is split into three areas: the geographical map on the left, the Attribute Explorer on the right, and the timeline view along the bottom. The Attribute Explorer shows the distribution of nodes over 5 histograms at a particular time point and on a logarithmic scale. The histograms show policy status, activity flag, machine class, machine function, and number of connections. Selecting any bar creates a filter on that value, defining a subset. We can select multiple values from one attribute. Here I am interested in nodes with policy statuses 2, 3, 4, and 5, as well as across attributes. Here I'm going to add machine function teller to the filter. My query now filters by all teller machines that have a policy status of either 2, 3, 4, or 5. The coloured areas on the histogram show the corresponding values for the subset. The subset of nodes is then displayed on the geographical view, grouped by location. We use colour to show an attribute value, size to show the number of nodes, and shape to show the business unit. Hovering over a location shows the total number of nodes, the maximum policy status, and the total number of connections. We can further subset the data by clicking on locations, or regions by holding down the Shift key. Interactions with the geographical view are then updated in the Attribute Explorer. The background is either white or black depending on whether the time zone is in or out of office hours at the current time point. We can jump to different time points by clicking on the timeline at the bottom of the screen, or we can cycle through the timeline points automatically. We can also set the interval to increment each cycle, example 15 minutes, 1 hour, etc. Here we are playing through the data at 1 hour intervals. You can see our filters remain in place, but the values change based on the data at the current time point. Also, the background changes to reflect the current time in each zone. At 9 AM BMT on the 3rd, we see that region 10 contains an abnormally high number of connections. In this situation, we may want to drill down into the data. We do this by clicking on the Areas of Concern button. It shows the state of each node in the subset and a corresponding concern level. The concern level is derived via a rule set, which we determine by eliciting possible interpretations of various attribute combinations in the status reports from domain experts. We can then export the data in various formats to further drill down for investigation. An example of this is a tree map visualization, where we can quickly see the quantity of each concern level, and further drill down to see each concern level divided by region. Finally, we ran several observational sessions where we asked our domain experts within our university to interact with the M-SIEVE application and use their domain knowledge to identify areas of interest. We hope to study the observational data in more detail after completing the submission. Thank you for listening.